The massive alien ship hung in Earth's sky like a dark metal moon. Its shadow covered half of what used to be Sol, blocking out the sun and casting everything below in cold darkness. Admiral Veltar stood on the command deck of the Void Dominion, watching the smoke rise from the burning cities below. His reptilian eyes gleamed with satisfaction as he studied the destruction. 3 months of bombardment, he said to his second-in-command. The humans are finished. Their military is destroyed, their cities are ruins, and their spirit is broken. Captain Lee Hyun crouched behind a pile of concrete and twisted metal that used to be an apartment building. His uniform was torn and dirty, his face covered with dust and dried blood, but his eyes were sharp and alert. He watched the alien patrol hover past their hiding spot, its blue energy beams scanning the rubble for signs of life. "Stay low," he whispered to his team. Park Nari lay flat beside him, her communication equipment carefully hidden under broken stones. Kim Tae-ho gripped his rifle with steady hands, while Choi Mina checked her medical supplies. They had been playing this deadly game of hide-and-seek for months now. The alien patrol moved on, satisfied that this area was empty of threats. Lee Hyun waited until the sound of their engines faded before he signaled his team to move. They crawled through the ruins like ghosts, making no sound and leaving no trace. "How many more survivors did we find today?" Lee Hyun asked Choi Mina when they reached their temporary shelter in the subway tunnels. 43, she replied, cleaning a wound on a young boy's arm. "Most of them are families with children. They're scared and hungry, but they're alive." Lee Hyun nodded. Every life saved was a victory against the aliens. But they were doing more than just rescuing civilians. They were part of something much bigger, something the aliens could never imagine. 200 feet below the Pacific Ocean, Commander Yang Do-yoon sat in front of a wall of glowing screens. The underwater bunker had been built in secret years ago, designed to survive any attack from space. Now it served as the hidden nerve center of Earth's resistance. "What are the aliens saying about us today?" Yang Do-hyun asked his intelligence officer Shin Yuna. Shin Yuna adjusted her headphones and read from her computer screen. Admiral Veltar reported to his superiors that Earth's military resistance has been completely eliminated. He believes only scattered groups of civilians remain, hiding in the ruins. Yang Do-hyun smiled grimly. "Perfect. Let them keep thinking that." For 3 months, Yang Do-hyun and his team had been carefully feeding false information to the alien invaders. They used captured alien communication devices to send fake distress signals and false reports about human military losses. Every message was designed to make the aliens believe they had won a complete victory. The truth was very different. Yes, Earth's cities had been bombed. Yes, many people had died. But Earth's real military forces had never been on the planet when the aliens arrived. They had been moved to secret locations months before the invasion began. "Sir," Shin Yuna said, looking up from her screens, "we're getting reports from resistance cells in Tokyo, London, and New York. All teams are in position and maintaining radio silence." "Good," Yang Do-yun replied. "And what about our friends in space?" "Luna Base Alpha confirms they're ready. Mars Command is also standing by. Admiral Bae Soon-ho is waiting for your signal." Yang Do-hyun looked at the big screen showing Earth from space. The alien fleet looked so powerful, so confident. They had no idea what was coming for them. On the alien command ship, Admiral Veltar was meeting with his ground forces commander. The reptilian officer's scales were bright green, showing his excitement about their easy victory. "The human resistance is pathetic," the ground commander reported. "We find small groups hiding in ruins, but they run away as soon as they see us. They have no weapons that can hurt our ships, no organization, no leadership." Admiral Veltar's tail swished with pleasure. "Excellent. Begin Phase 2. Start mining their planet for resources. The Confederation will be pleased with how quickly we conquered this world." "What about the human survivors, sir?" "Leave them alone for now. They're no threat to us. A few thousand scared civilians hiding in holes cannot stop the mighty Confederation fleet. If only he knew how wrong he was." Back in the Seoul ruins, Lee Hyun's team was preparing for their next mission. Park Nari had intercepted alien communications about a new mining operation in the mountains. Kim Tae-ho was checking his explosives, while Choi Mina prepared medical supplies for the civilians they hoped to evacuate from the area. "Remember," Lee Hyun told his team, "we make it look like desperate civilians fighting back. Nothing organized, nothing professional, just scared people trying to protect their homes." They moved through the city ruins like shadows. Every step was planned, every action designed to look like random resistance rather than military strategy. When they attacked alien supply convoys, they made sure to leave evidence that made it look like civilian desperation rather than tactical planning. The aliens found broken kitchen knives and hunting rifles at attack sites, never the advanced weapons that the real human military possessed. They found crude explosive devices made from household chemicals, not the sophisticated bombs that Earth's engineers could build. Admiral Veltar received these reports with growing confidence. "See?" he told his officers. "The humans are finished as a fighting force. They're reduced to attacking us with kitchen utensils and homemade bombs. This planet is ours." 3 months passed this way. The aliens grew more and more confident, while the human resistance carefully maintained the illusion of defeat. Underground, Yang Do-hyun coordinated with resistance cells around the world. Every action was planned to look like the desperate struggles of a beaten people. Meanwhile, Shin Yuna monitored alien communications and fed them false information. When alien scouts reported finding weapons caches, they were actually finding carefully planted evidence designed to make human capabilities look much weaker than they really were. "The aliens are requesting permission to reduce their fleet size," Shin Yuna reported one day. "Admiral Veltar wants to send half his ships to other conquest targets." Yang Do-hyun's eyes lit up. "Even better than we hoped. How many ships does that leave in Earth orbit?" "About 300 vessels, sir. Still a large force, but much smaller than what they started with." "Perfect. Send a message to Admiral Bae Sun-ho. Tell him the trap is almost ready." Above ground, Lee Hyun continued his deadly game of cat and mouse with alien patrols. His team had become experts at appearing weak while actually gathering intelligence about alien positions, weapons, and weaknesses. "They're getting lazy," Kim Tae-ho observed after watching an alien patrol pass by their hiding spot. "They barely scan the ruins anymore. They think we're no threat." "That's exactly what we want them to think," Lee Hyun replied. As the months passed, more and more alien ships left Earth orbit. Admiral Veltar kept only what he thought was necessary to control a defeated planet. He had no idea that every ship he sent away made the coming battle easier for humanity. The stage was set. Earth appeared conquered, its people broken and scattered. The alien occupiers had grown confident and careless. They believed they faced only the desperate resistance of defeated civilians. They had no idea that somewhere in the darkness of space, the real human fleet was moving into position. The greatest deception in human history was about to reach its dramatic conclusion. The aliens thought they had won. Soon they would learn just how wrong they were. 3 years before the alien ships appeared in Earth's sky, Admiral Bae Sun-ho received a message that changed everything. He was sitting in his office at Earth Defense Command when Dr. Kang Ji-won burst through the door, her face pale with worry. "Admiral, you need to see this immediately," Dr. Kang said, placing a data tablet on his desk. "Our deep space monitors have detected something terrible." Admiral Bae Sun-ho looked at the screen showing dots moving through space toward Earth. "What am I looking at, Doctor?" "A massive alien fleet, sir. They're still 3 years away, but they're definitely coming here. And based on their size and formation, this isn't a friendly visit." Admiral Bae Sun-ho studied the data for a long moment. 3 years to prepare for an invasion by an enemy they knew nothing about. 3 years to save humanity from conquest. "How big is their fleet?" he asked. "Over 1,000 ships, sir. Some of them are larger than anything we've ever built. If they reach Earth with our current defenses, we'll be destroyed," Admiral Bae Sun-ho finished. "But 3 years is enough time to prepare if we're smart about it." That night, Admiral Bae Sun-ho began the most secret project in human history. He called it Project Exodus. The plan was simple but dangerous. Evacuate Earth's entire space fleet and military infrastructure to hidden bases in space, making the planet appear defenseless while actually preparing the strongest defense humanity had ever assembled. Captain Oh Seung-min was one of the first officers recruited for the project. He was young but brilliant, with a gift for understanding how alien technology worked. Admiral Bae Sunho met with him in a secure room deep underground. "Captain, what I'm about to tell you cannot leave this room," the Admiral said. "We're moving our entire fleet to secret bases on the Moon and Mars. Your job will be to oversee the construction of our new Luna Base Alpha." Captain Oh Sungmin's eyes widened. "Sir, that's impossible. We can't hide an entire fleet on the Moon. We're not just hiding it, Captain. We're rebuilding it. Dr. Kang Jiwon has been studying alien technology from the small scout ships we've captured over the years. We're going to build a new kind of human fleet, one that can fight aliens and win." The evacuation began slowly and secretly. Ships left Earth at night, using routes that would make them look like normal cargo flights. Military personnel were transferred to training exercises that actually took them to hidden bases. Weapons and equipment disappeared from Earth bases and reappeared in secret facilities, millions of miles away. Captain Oh Seung-min arrived at Luna Base Alpha 6 months later. What he found there amazed him. Hidden inside ancient craters and covered by metal that looked like moon rock, the base was invisible from space. Inside, thousands of workers were building something incredible. "Welcome to humanity's secret weapon," said Chief Engineer Lim Yunbi, leading him through the construction bays. "We're not just copying alien technology, we're making it better." Lim Yunbi showed him the new battleships taking shape in the construction bays. They looked different from traditional human ships, sleeker, more powerful, with weapons that seemed to bend light around them. "The aliens use pure energy weapons," she explained. "But we've learned to combine their energy technology with our projectile weapons. Their shields can stop energy beams, but they can't stop solid metal moving at incredible speeds." Captain Oh Sungmin watched workers installing the new weapon systems. "How many ships are we building?" "More than the aliens know we have," Lim Yunbi smiled. "They think Earth has maybe 200 warships. We're building over 600, all with technology they've never seen before." Meanwhile, on Mars, General Han Jae-sung was overseeing an even more ambitious project. The red planet's low gravity and rich metal deposits made it perfect for building the largest ships humanity had ever designed. "How's our flagship coming along?" he asked his tactical advisor Yu So-hee, as they watched work progress on the massive carrier. "Terra's Vengeance will be ready on schedule, sir," Yu So-hee replied. "She'll carry 300 fighters and enough firepower to take on an entire alien battle group." General Han Jae-sung nodded with satisfaction. Terra's Vengeance was more than just a ship. It was a symbol of human determination. Every bolt, every weapon, every piece of armor had been built by people who refused to surrender their freedom. "What about our combat strategies?" he asked. Yu So-hee pulled up tactical displays showing alien fleet formations. "We've been studying every piece of alien technology and every battle record from other worlds they've conquered. They rely on overwhelming firepower and standard attack patterns. They've never faced an enemy that could match their technology while using completely different tactics." The work continued day and night. On Luna Base Alpha, Captain Oh Seung-min coordinated the training of pilots who would fly ships the aliens had never seen. Lieutenant Song Minji was one of the best, a young pilot with lightning reflexes and an understanding of alien technology that impressed even the engineers. "These new fighters are incredible, sir," Lieutenant Song told Captain Oh Sung-min after a training flight. "The stealth systems make us invisible to alien sensors, and the new weapons can punch through their shields like they're made of paper." His wingman, Pilot Kwon In-ha, agreed. "The aliens won't know what hit them. They're used to fighting enemies with inferior technology. They've never faced humans who could match them ship for ship." While the new fleet grew stronger, Dr. Kang Ji-won continued her research into alien technology. In her secret laboratory, she worked to understand how alien energy shields functioned and how to defeat them. "The key is harmonics," she explained to Admiral Bae Sunho during one of his visits. "Alien shields work by matching the frequency of incoming energy weapons. But if we can change our weapon frequencies faster than their shields can adapt, their defenses become useless," Admiral Bae Sunho finished. "Brilliant work, Doctor." Dr. Kang Ji-won also developed the cloaking technology that would hide the human fleet until the moment of attack. By bending light and electromagnetic radiation around the ships, they could appear to be asteroids or empty space to alien sensors. As the months passed, the secret grew larger. Hundreds of thousands of people were involved in Project Exodus, yet somehow the aliens never learned about it. Every person who worked on the project understood that humanity's survival depended on keeping the secret. Admiral Bei Sunho established his command center aboard the fortress ship Humanity's Will, hidden in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. From there, he could coordinate with all human forces while remaining invisible to alien scouts. His communications officer, Kim Yeonji, maintained contact with resistance cells on Earth and fleet units throughout the solar system. "All units report ready, sir," she told him as the third anniversary of Project Exodus approached. "Luna Base Alpha has 57 combat ships ready for action. Mars Command has completed 43 vessels, including Terra's Vengeance. The asteroid mining stations have produced enough ammunition for a sustained battle." Admiral Bei Sunho looked at the tactical display showing alien positions around Earth. "And our friends on Earth?" Commander Yang Do-hyun reports that the aliens believe Earth is completely defeated. They've reduced their fleet strength by 60%. Admiral Veltar is confident that he faces only scattered civilian resistance. The moment was almost here. For 3 years, humanity had worked in secret, building a fleet more powerful than anything Earth had ever possessed. The aliens thought they had conquered a weak and primitive world. Soon they would learn that they had walked into the greatest trap in galactic history. Admiral Bei Sunho opened a secure communication channel to all human forces. "This is Admiral Bei Sunho to all Exodus forces. The time of hiding is almost over. In 72 hours we take back our home. Make humanity proud." Across the solar system, human crews prepared for battle. On Luna Base Alpha, Captain Oh Sung-min conducted final checks on his ships. On Mars, General Han Jae-sung reviewed attack plans with Yu So-hee. In the asteroid belt, Admiral Bei Sunho watched alien positions and waited for the perfect moment to spring the trap. The aliens still believed Earth was defeated. They had no idea that humanity's greatest fleet was moving through the darkness toward them, invisible and deadly, carrying the hopes and fury of an entire species. The greatest deception in human history was about to become the greatest victory. 6 months had passed since the alien occupation began. Admiral Veltar stood on his command deck, watching human slaves load precious metals onto Confederation transport ships. Everything was going perfectly according to plan. "The mining operations are ahead of schedule," his ground commander reported. "The humans work hard when properly motivated. We should have this planet stripped of resources within 2 years. Admiral Veltar's reptilian features showed satisfaction. "Excellent. The Confederation Council will be pleased with our efficiency. These humans are much more useful as workers than as enemies." He had no idea that deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, Commander Yang Do-hyun was about to change everything. Yang Do-hyun looked at the calendar on his command screen. 6 months of careful planning, 6 months of making the aliens believe they had won. Now it was time for the next phase of humanity's plan. "Shin Yuna, are all resistance cells ready to receive the activation signal?" he asked his intelligence officer. Shin Yuna checked her communication systems. "Yes, sir. We have confirmed contact with resistance groups in every major city on Earth. They're all waiting for your command." Yang Do-hyun nodded. For 6 months, human resistance fighters had been playing the role of defeated civilians. They had allowed the aliens to capture some of them, to chase others through ruins, to believe they were dealing with nothing more than desperate survivors. Now it was time to show the aliens what organized human resistance really looked like. "Send the signal," Yang Do-hyun ordered. Shin Yuna's fingers moved across her keyboard, sending a coded message that would reach every hidden human outpost in the solar system. The message was simple. "The wolf hunt begins at dawn." In the ruins of Seoul, Captain Lee Hyun's communication device vibrated with the incoming signal. Park Nari quickly decoded the message and looked up with excitement. "Sir, this is it. Command is activating all resistance cells. We're going active." Lee Hyun felt a surge of excitement run through his team. For months they had been hiding, running, pretending to be weak. Now they could finally fight back properly. "Kim Tae-ho, what's our weapon status?" Lee Hyun asked. Kim Tae-ho grinned as he opened a hidden cache that had been disguised as rubble. Inside were advanced human weapons that no alien had ever seen. Plasma rifles, smart explosives, and armor made from materials that didn't exist in alien databases. "Locked and loaded, sir. I've been waiting months to use these properly." Choi Mina checked her medical equipment, which included advanced healing technology that could treat injuries the aliens thought were fatal. "Ready to patch up anyone who needs it, sir." Similar scenes were playing out in hidden bases around the world. In London, New York, Tokyo, Moscow, and dozens of other cities, Human resistance fighters were revealing weapons and equipment that the aliens had never suspected existed. But the signal did more than just activate Earth's resistance. It also reached the hidden fleet scattered throughout the solar system. On Luna Base Alpha, Captain Oh Sung-min received the message while conducting final systems checks on his battleships. His engineering teams had been working around the clock to prepare the fleet for combat. All ships report ready for departure, Chief Engineer Lim Yunbi told him. The cloaking systems are functioning perfectly. We'll be invisible until we choose to reveal ourselves. Captain Oh Sung-min looked at his fleet through the observation windows. 57 warships, each one more advanced than anything Earth had ever built before. Ships designed specifically to fight and defeat alien technology. Begin movement toward Earth, he ordered. Maintain full stealth. The aliens shouldn't detect us until we're right on top of them. On Mars, General Han Jae-sung received the same signal aboard the massive carrier Terra's Vengeance. The ship was so large it could carry 300 fighters and enough supplies to fight for months without resupplying. All Mars fleet units, prepare for departure, he commanded. Tactical Officer Yu So-hee, confirm our attack routes. Yu So-hee brought up the tactical displays showing the route from Mars to Earth. All planned attack vectors are clear, sir. We'll approach from the direction of the asteroid belt, using the debris field to mask our approach. The Mars fleet began moving. 43 vessels, including Terra's Vengeance, all invisible to alien sensors thanks to Dr. Kang Ji-won's cloaking technology. Lieutenant Song Min-jae and pilot Kwon In-ha prepared their stealth fighters for the long journey to Earth. Their mission was crucial. They would be the first to engage alien defenses, clearing the way for the main attack. Remember, Lieutenant Song told his squadron, we stay invisible until the moment we attack. The aliens think human fighters are slow and weak. Let's show them how wrong they are. Meanwhile, the Earth resistance began their coordinated attacks. But these weren't the desperate struggles the aliens expected. These were precise military operations designed to cripple alien logistics, while appearing to be random acts of revenge. Lee Hyun led his team through Seoul's ruins toward their first target, an alien supply depot that fed the mining operations in the mountains. But instead of using homemade bombs and stolen alien weapons, they carried human military equipment designed specifically for this mission. Remember the plan? Lee Hyun told his team as they approached the depot. We hit hard and fast, but we make it look like angry civilians got lucky. Leave some crude weapons behind. Take the good stuff with us. Kim Tae-ho placed advanced explosives that would destroy the depot completely, but he also scattered some crude homemade bombs around the area. When alien investigators arrived, they would find evidence of both the real attack and fake civilian involvement. The attack was devastating. The alien depot exploded in a fireball that could be seen for miles, destroying months of gathered resources. But when alien security forces investigated, they found broken bottles that had been turned into firebombs and crude chemical explosives made from household materials. Desperate humans, the alien commander reported to Admiral Veltar. They're getting bolder, but they're still using primitive weapons. This was just lucky placement of their crude devices. Similar attacks happened all over Earth. Alien mining operations were sabotaged, transport ships were damaged, and communication arrays were destroyed. But each attack was carefully staged to look like the work of desperate civilians, rather than trained military personnel. Admiral Veltar grew increasingly frustrated as reports poured in from around the planet. These humans are becoming a nuisance. Double the security patrols and execute any humans found near our facilities. But the increased security played right into the human plan. Every alien soldier assigned to guard duty on Earth was one less defender for the fleet in space. In his underwater bunker, Commander Yang Do-hyun monitored the alien response with satisfaction. They're taking the bait perfectly. Look at these troop movements. They're pulling soldiers from their ships to increase planetary security. Shin Yuna nodded as she tracked alien communications. Admiral Veltar has requested additional ground forces from the fleet. He's transferring crew members from warships to patrol duties. Perfect. Every alien soldier on the ground is one who won't be fighting in space when our fleet arrives. The resistance attacks continued for weeks. Each strike was more daring than the last, but always designed to look like civilian desperation rather than military planning. The aliens found evidence of kitchen knives modified into weapons, hunting rifles used to damage equipment, and bombs made from farm chemicals. They never found the advanced human weapons that had actually done the damage. Parknari coordinated communications between resistance cells, using alien frequencies to send messages that looked like desperate pleas for help but actually contained detailed intelligence about alien positions and weaknesses. The aliens are monitoring our communications, she told Lee Hyun, but they think we're just scared civilians trying to find each other. They have no idea we're using their own network to coordinate military operations. As the attacks intensified, more alien ships left orbit to support ground operations. Admiral Veltar's fleet, which had once numbered over 800 vessels, was reduced to fewer than 300 as ships were sent to patrol duties or recalled to other conquered worlds. "Sir," an alien communications officer reported, "we're receiving word from the outer system monitoring stations. They report no human activity in deep space. All remaining human forces appear to be trapped on the planet." Admiral Veltar felt pleased with this news. Good. That means these attacks really are just the desperate struggles of defeated civilians. Increase the bombardment of suspected resistance areas. We'll crush their spirit completely. But unknown to Admiral Veltar, the human fleet was already moving through space toward Earth. Captain Oh Sung-min's Luna forces were approaching from one direction, while General Han Jae-sung's Mars fleet came from another. Both forces remained completely invisible to alien sensors. Admiral Bae Sun-ho, commanding from his flagship Humanity's Will, watched the alien positions and smiled grimly. "The trap is almost ready. Yang Doyan's resistance has done their job perfectly. The aliens are exactly where we want them." His communications officer Kim Yeonji confirmed the status of all human forces. All fleet units are in position and maintaining stealth. Earth resistance reports they're ready for the final phase. "Admiral, we can begin the attack whenever you give the order." Admiral Bae Sun-ho looked at dawn was breaking over Earth when Admiral Veltar noticed something wrong with his sensor displays. He had just finished his morning meal when his tactical officer rushed onto the command deck, his scales pale with panic. "Admiral, we're detecting massive energy signatures appearing throughout the system." The officer reported, his voice shaking. "Ships are materializing out of nowhere." Admiral Veltar looked at the main display screen and felt his blood turn cold. Where empty space had been just moments before, dozens of warships were suddenly visible. They appeared like ghosts becoming solid, surrounding his fleet from all directions. "Impossible," he whispered. "Where did they come from?" Captain Oh Sung-min stood on the bridge of his flagship Luna's Fury, watching the alien fleet's panicked response to the sudden appearance of the human force. For 6 months, his ships had been moving through space disguised as asteroids and space debris. Now, with the push of a button, all 57 vessels dropped their cloaking devices simultaneously. "All ships, this is Captain Oh Sung-min," he announced over the fleet communication system. "Execute attack pattern Alpha. Show these aliens what happens when they threaten Earth." The Luna fleet opened fire with weapons the aliens had never seen before. Energy beams that changed frequency faster than alien shields could adapt, projectile weapons that punched through energy barriers like they were made of paper, and guided missiles that could think for themselves and avoid enemy defenses. Chief Engineer Lim Yoonbi watched from the engine room as her hybrid technology performed exactly as designed. "Human projectiles with alien guidance systems," she said with satisfaction. "They can't stop what they can't understand." But the Luna fleet was just the beginning. On the other side of Earth, General Han Jae-sung's Mars fleet was emerging from the asteroid belt like an avalanche of metal and fury. The massive carrier Terra's Vengeance led the formation, its bulk larger than any ship in the alien fleet. Tactical Officer Yoo So-hee, "Launch all fighters," General Han Jae-sung commanded. "Show them the real strength of humanity." The carrier's launch bays opened like the jaws of a giant beast, releasing 300 fighters into space. Each one was equipped with stealth technology and weapons designed specifically to counter alien defenses. Lieutenant Song Min-jae led the first wave of fighters, his squadron diving toward the alien fleet like hawks attacking prey. "All fighters engage at will. Remember your training and make every shot count." The stealth fighters were nearly invisible to alien sensors until they opened fire. By the time the aliens detected them, human missiles were already exploding against their hulls. Pilot Kwan In-ha swooped past an alien cruiser, her fighters' weapons tearing through the enemy ship's armor. "These aliens fight like they've never faced real opposition before," she reported over the communication system. "Their defensive patterns are useless against our tactics. Admiral Veltar watched in horror as his fleet was torn apart by an enemy that shouldn't exist. "How many ships do the humans have?" he demanded from his tactical officer. "Over 100 vessels, sir, and more are still appearing. They're using technology we don't understand. Our shields are useless against their weapons." Admiral Veltar's mind raced as he tried to understand what was happening. "This is impossible. Our intelligence report said Earth had no space fleet. We destroyed their military completely." But even as his ships burned around him, more human vessels were revealing themselves. Admiral Bei Sunho's command fleet emerged from behind the moon, led by the fortress ship Humanity's Will. Dr. Kang Ji-won's advanced weapons systems turned the flagship into a mobile weapons platform that could fight multiple alien ships at once. Communications. Officer Kim Yeonji, "Open a channel to the alien flagship," Admiral Bei Sunho ordered. "Channel open." "Sir." Admiral Bei Sunho's voice filled the alien command ship. "Admiral Veltar, this is Admiral Bei Sunho of the Earth Defense Force. You have 30 seconds to surrender your fleet, or we will destroy every one of your ships." Admiral Veltar's rage overcame his fear. "You cannot defeat the Galactic Confederation. We have conquered 100 worlds. You've never conquered a world that fought back properly," Admiral Bei Sunho replied calmly. "Earth is not like your other victims. We had 3 years to prepare for your arrival." The battle raged throughout Earth's orbital space as human ships revealed the true extent of their preparation. Weapons that the aliens had thought were impossible were tearing through Confederation vessels like paper. Human tactics that no alien commander had ever encountered were turning their formations into death traps. On Earth's surface, the Resistance was playing their part in the coordinated attack. Captain Lee Hyun's team had infiltrated the alien command center in Seoul, using the battle in space as a distraction. "Kim Tae-ho, are the charges set?" Lee Hyun asked as explosions lit up the sky above them. "Ready to blow, sir. When this place goes up, every alien ground installation on the continent will lose communication with their fleet." Park Nari monitored alien communications from her portable equipment. "The aliens are panicking. They're trying to call for reinforcements, but our fleet is jamming their long-range transmissions." Choi Min attended to wounded Resistance fighters who had been injured in earlier attacks. "Look at the sky," she said with wonder. "Our ships are winning." Indeed they were. Captain Oh Sung-min's Luna fleet had destroyed or crippled over 30 alien vessels without losing a single human ship. The combination of superior technology and surprise tactics was devastating the enemy fleet. "Engineering reports all systems functioning perfectly," Chief Engineer Lim Yoonbi announced. "Our shields are holding against everything they throw at us, and our weapons are cutting through their defenses like they're not even there." General Han Jae-sung coordinated the Mars fleet's attack from the command center of Terra's Vengeance. "Tactical Officer Yu So-hee, focus our assault on their command ships. Cut off their coordination and they'll fall apart." "Already targeting their flagship, sir. Terra's Vengeance main batteries are locked on target." The massive carrier's primary weapons fired in unison, sending streams of energy and projectiles toward Admiral Veltar's command ship. The alien vessel's shields flared and failed under the overwhelming assault. Lieutenant Song Min-jae's fighter squadron pressed their attack on the alien fleet's smaller vessels. "Target their engine systems," he ordered his pilots. "Disable them so they can't escape to warn the Confederation." The stealth fighters were like deadly shadows, appearing long enough to fire their weapons before vanishing back into the darkness of space. Alien ships exploded or went dead in space as human fighters systematically dismantled the invasion fleet. Commander Yang Do-yun watched the battle from his underwater bunker, coordinating between the space fleet and the ground resistance. Shin Yuna confirmed that all alien ground installations are cut off from their fleet. "Confirmed, sir. Captain Lee Hyun's team has successfully destroyed the main communication array. Ground forces are operating blind. The carefully planned deception was working perfectly. For months, the aliens had believed they were fighting scattered groups of desperate civilians. They had reduced their fleet, scattered their forces, and grown careless with their defenses. Now they faced the full might of Earth's hidden military, and they were completely unprepared for the reality of human warfare. Admiral Veltar's command ship shook under repeated human attacks. Half his fleet was already destroyed or disabled, and the human ships showed no signs of slowing their assault. "Sir, we must withdraw," his tactical officer pleaded. "We cannot win this battle." Admiral Veltar's pride warred with his survival instinct. Send a distress signal to Confederation Command. Tell them that Earth was not defeated. Tell them the humans have a fleet more powerful than our intelligence indicated. Sir, human ships are jamming our long-range communications. We cannot send messages beyond this system. Admiral Veltar realized with growing horror that the humans had planned this battle down to the smallest detail. They had not only hidden their military strength, but they had also ensured that no alien ship would escape to warn the Confederation about Earth's true capabilities. The battle was becoming a massacre. Human ships surrounded alien vessels like wolves hunting prey, using tactics and technology that alien commanders had never encountered. The invasion fleet that had arrived 6 months ago with such confidence was being systematically destroyed, and still more human ships were appearing, as if materializing from the darkness itself. The aliens had been completely fooled about Earth's military strength. What they had thought was a conquered world was actually the most dangerous trap any Confederation fleet had ever encountered. Admiral Bei Sunho watched the tactical display with grim satisfaction. The plan that had taken 3 years to prepare was working exactly as designed. Earth's deception was about to become Earth's greatest victory. The battle for Earth reached its peak as Admiral Bei Sunho's command fleet joined the fight. The fortress ship Humanity's Will was a mobile weapons platform, unlike anything the aliens had ever seen, bristling with Dr. Kang Jiwon's hybrid technology that combined human innovation with captured alien science. All weapons, fire at will, Admiral Bei Sunho commanded from his bridge. Show the Confederation what happens when they threaten our home. The flagship's main batteries opened fire, and the space around Earth lit up like a new sun. Energy beams that shifted frequency faster than alien shields could adapt, projectile weapons that punched through energy barriers, and guided missiles that hunted their targets with deadly intelligence. Dr. Kang Jiwon monitored the weapon systems from the ship's laboratory. The harmonic disruption systems are working perfectly, she reported with satisfaction. Their shields can't adapt fast enough to our frequency. Changes. Admiral Veltar watched his fleet being destroyed around him and felt something he had never experienced before: complete helplessness. His massive dreadnought Void Dominion, which had seemed so powerful when it arrived at Earth, was now surrounded by human ships that moved like deadly dancers, striking from unexpected angles with weapons that made no sense. Status report, he demanded from his tactical officer. 60% of our fleet is destroyed or disabled, sir. The humans are not taking prisoners. They're systematically eliminating our ability to fight or flee. Captain Oh Seungmin coordinated the Luna fleet's assault on the alien formation's left flank. His ships moved in perfect formation, their advanced targeting systems allowing them to fire around friendly vessels without risk of hitting their own forces. Chief Engineer Lim Yunbi, how are our power systems holding up? He asked over the communication system. All systems green, sir. The new fusion reactors are providing more power than we can use. We can maintain this pace of combat for hours if necessary. The Luna fleet's concentrated firepower was devastating. Alien ships that had terrorized other worlds were being torn apart by human weapons they couldn't understand or counter. Every shot hit its target. Every target was destroyed or disabled. Meanwhile, General Han Jae-sung brought the full power of the Mars fleet to bear on the alien flagship. The massive carrier Terra's Vengeance positioned itself directly in front of Admiral Veltar's command ship, its enormous bulk blocking the alien vessel's escape route. Tactical Officer Yu So-hee, target their command center, General Han Jae-sung ordered. End this battle. Main batteries locked on target, sir. Firing. Terra's Vengeance unleashed its full firepower against the alien flagship. The space between the two massive vessels filled with energy, beams and projectiles as the human carrier, demonstrated why it had been built so large, to carry enough weapons to destroy entire fleets. Lieutenant Song Min-jae led his fighter squadron in the final assault on the remaining alien vessels. The stealth fighters moved through the battle like ghosts, appearing long enough to deliver devastating attacks before vanishing back into the darkness. All fighters, concentrate on their engine systems, he commanded. Don't let any of them escape to warn the Confederation. Pilot Kwon In-ha's fighter swooped through the debris field that had once been alien ships, hunting for any vessel trying to flee the battle. Target acquired, she reported, locking onto an alien scout ship attempting to reach the edge of the system. Engaging. Her fighter's weapons disabled the scout ship's engines, leaving it drifting helplessly in space. No alien vessel would escape to carry word of humanity's true strength back to the Confederation. On Earth's surface, the Resistance was delivering the final blow to the alien ground forces. Commander Yang Do-hyun emerged from his underwater bunker for the first time in months, coordinating the ground assault from a mobile command center. All Resistance cells, this is Commander Yang Do-hyun. The fleet has won the space battle. Begin final operations against all alien installations. Captain Lee Hyun's team struck the alien command center in Seoul with military precision, no longer pretending to be desperate civilians. They moved with the skill and equipment of Earth's elite forces. Kim Tae-ho, bring down that communication tower, Lee Hyun ordered. Make sure no alien on the ground can coordinate with any survivors in space. Kim Tae-ho's advanced explosives reduced the alien tower to twisted metal in seconds. Around the world, similar attacks were eliminating every piece of alien infrastructure that remained on Earth. Park Nari monitored the final alien communications as their network collapsed. They're completely cut off now, she reported. The ground forces have no contact with their fleet and no way to coordinate their response. Choi Mina treated the last of the wounded Resistance fighters as explosions from the space battle lit up the sky above them. Look at that, she said with wonder. Every explosion up there is another alien ship destroyed. Intelligence Officer Shin Yuna coordinated the global assault from the underwater bunker. All Resistance cells report success. Every major alien installation on Earth is either destroyed or under attack. Their occupation force is finished. The space battle was reaching its climax. Admiral Bae Sun-ho's fleet had surrounded the remaining alien ships, cutting off all escape routes. The Void Dominion, Admiral Veltar's flagship, was the last major vessel still fighting. Admiral Veltar, Admiral Bae Sun-ho's voice filled the alien command bridge. You have one chance to surrender. Order your remaining ships to stand down and we will allow you to evacuate your crews. Admiral Veltar looked around his damaged bridge. Half his officers were dead or wounded. His ship's systems were failing and his fleet was destroyed, but his pride would not allow him to surrender to what he still considered an inferior species. Never, he snarled. The Galactic Confederation does not surrender to primitives. Admiral Bae Sun-ho's reply was calm but final. Then you have chosen to die with your ship. All units eliminate the remaining targets. The combined firepower of 3 human fleets focused on the Void Dominion. Captain Oh Sung-min's Luna Force attacked from one side while General Han Jae-sung's Mars fleet struck from another. Admiral Bae Sun-ho's command fleet delivered the killing blow. Lieutenant Song Min-jae and pilot Kwon In-ha led the final fighter assault, their squadrons penetrating the alien flagship's failing defenses to strike at its reactor core. Target the main reactor, Lieutenant Song commanded. End this. The stealth fighters delivered their weapons with surgical precision. The Void Dominion's reactor core went critical, and Admiral Veltar's flagship exploded in a brilliant flash that could be seen from Earth's surface. With their flagship destroyed and their fleet eliminated, the few surviving alien vessels finally attempted to surrender, but Admiral Bae Sun-ho was not interested in taking prisoners who might escape and warn the Confederation. Destroy them all, he commanded coldly. Leave no survivors to carry word of this battle back to their empire. The last alien ships died in the darkness of space, their crews never understanding how the primitive world they had thought to conquer had become their graveyard. On Earth, Captain Lee Hyun stood among the ruins of Seoul, watching the alien ships burn in the sky above. The explosions painted the clouds in brilliant colors as humanity's hidden fleet completed its victory. It's over, Choi Mina said softly, bandaging the last wounded fighter. We actually won. Kim Tae-ho laughed as he watched alien installations exploding across the city. Not just one. We destroyed them completely. Not one alien ship escaped. Park Nari monitored the final communications from space. Admiral Bae Sun-ho is confirming total victory. All alien vessels destroyed. No survivors. Commander Yang Do-hyun opened a communication channel to all human forces across Earth and throughout the solar system. This is Commander Yang Do-hyun to all human forces. Operation Exodus is complete. Earth is free. Across the solar system, human crews celebrated their impossible victory. On Luna Base Alpha, Captain Oh Sung-min and Chief Engineer Lim Yunbi watched the last alien debris falling toward Earth's atmosphere. On Mars, General Han Jae-sung and Tactical Officer Yu So-hee reviewed the battle reports with satisfaction. Admiral Bae Sunho stood on the bridge of humanity's will, looking down at the planet that had seemed so helpless just hours before. Communications Officer Kim Yeonji brought him the final casualty reports. Human losses were minimal, sir. We lost 3 fighters and suffered damage to 4 ships, but no vessels were destroyed. Alien losses were total. Over 300 ships destroyed, no survivors. Dr. Kang Jiwon joined Admiral Bae Sunho on the bridge, her face showing the exhaustion of 3 years of constant work. The deception worked perfectly, she said. They never suspected what we were really capable of. Admiral Bae Sunho opened a communication channel to address all human forces. This is Admiral Bae Sunho to all Earth Defense Forces. Today we have shown the galaxy that humanity cannot be conquered by force. We have proven that underestimating human determination is a fatal mistake. He paused, looking down at the blue world that had been his species' home for thousands of years. The Galactic Confederation believed Earth was a defeated world, ripe for conquest and slavery. They learned instead that humanity's greatest weapon was never our technology or our numbers. It was our ability to make our enemies believe exactly what we wanted them to believe, until it was far too late.